What's going on, guys? So these are 7 quick tips to make better beats. Let's go. The first one is to build your melodies on top of chord progressions. This is called the ghost channel trick. So basically what you do is you choose a chord progression. This is mine right here, which is the 1, 4, 5 and the minor natural in D minor. And then you double these chords up the whole way and also sideways for the whole loop duration. And if you really want to understand better how to do this, I have a video right here, I'm going to put it, that explains exactly how to get to this. But basically this channel, you're gonna mute it, go and get other instruments, and now all you have to do is place the notes of this new instrument on the grid that you see here from the ghost notes from the other channel. And you see it just sounds good. You don't necessarily have to put it on the grid, you know, you can create some tension with these other notes. That means you're creating more complex chord, or you're going between the triad, between the notes of the triad, which is great, you know, like all these rules, they're all meant to be broken. You can go grab other instruments, start layering. I'm gonna show you how it sounds with like everything. So even this, you see it's on the grid, the 808 is on the grid, everything is on the grid. So everything is in harmony. So this brings me to tip number 2, and that's choosing the right scale for your type of music. I spent years studying all these scales. I'm gonna tell you exactly what kind of feeling and vibe and for what type of music the scales are good for. So me personally, I make a lot of trap hip hop, and the minor natural is my go-to. I probably make 99% of my beats in the minor natural. You can make sad, hard beats too, and just like it's very versatile and it just sounds very good. There's the major, and honestly this is like a bit more happy, more uplifting, and I think like 75% of pop music is all in the major. So all the music that you hear on the radio stations is pretty much in the major, but also minor natural, but more major. Then there's the Dorian, which is very closely related to the minor natural. It's just 1 degree separation. It sounds a bit gloomy, a bit magical. It's really nice. You can definitely use it sometimes. There's a certain characteristic to it. Then there's the Phrygian mode, and this is great for like hard trap beats because there's that 2nd degree of the scale that's really a semitone interval from the first, the root note. It's definitely gonna sound more exotic, kind of like Middle Eastern, Greek, you know, like it's gonna give you that vibe, but you can definitely create some hard melodies. I know a lot of like southern like trap, they use the Phrygian. And also remember, when you're using these scales, you need to make sure that you're using that root note and you always come back to it, because you're gonna be in the scale. If you're not doing that, you might just be in another scale. There's also the Lydian, a popular scale that's very similar to the major, so I'm not really using it. There's the Mixolydian too, that I tried it, but I don't really like it, to be honest. And there's the Locrian scale, which apparently is the darkest of them scales, but I never really felt the vibe, you know. So these are the main scales. So depending of the type of music you do, like if you do pop, then definitely go with the major and try all the chord progressions. If you do rap music, trap, definitely you know, go in the minor natural. Phrygian too is great. Since we're talking about melodies and chord progressions, I have 2 more quick tips, and then we're going to talk about how to get your drums to hit hard. Alright, so tip number 3, this one took me many years to really understand, but the duration of your loop is going to dictate how melodic or how hard the loop really is. So you see now I have the progression of 4, 5, 1, but because it's like long, it just sounds very melodic, right? But if I was gonna take this and let's say, you know, this is a bit less melodic. This could be more hard, you know? So now if I take this, I'm just gonna put it here. I'm gonna put this to 1 bar. Jeez! Now it's sounding like this is like a real trap beat, you know? So the duration of your loop, of your chord progression, is really going to dictate how melodic or how hard your beat is going to end up being. All right, so tip number 4 is to create shorter melodies, more like accents, instead of long melodies that kind of throw off the rapper or the artist. And this is what I mean. It's like a quick kind of accent melody. If I was doing something like kind of like more of a singing type of melody, more longer melody, over the years I understood that, like, you know, rappers, like, they can't really rap on these type of beat, you know, but they could rap on something like this. I'm gonna show you how it sounds with the beat. You know, just quick things. Or you can have like accents like something like that, but not long melodies. Alright, so quick tip number 5 is if you want to get your drums to hit, if you want that kick or that 808 to distort the rest of your instruments and drums, then don't freak out, bro. Just drop a soft clipper on the master channel. Like, that's all you have to do. A Fruity soft clipper, you just drop it on here. And it's just gonna sound good, you know, and then you just play with the levels. Make sure that 808 is a bit higher than 0 dB, and that's it. Me personally, I don't want the 808 to distort the instruments. I want to keep them clean, so I create a bus for the drums. I have all these drums here, they all go here. The way you do this is, you know, you right click, route to this track only, you create a bus. So I have one for the instruments and one for the drums, and then I just add a Fruity soft clipper on the drums only, and I put them down a bit because I want to master my beats with Lander, you know, because I want to put it on YouTube, I want to put it on my Type Beat channel, and I want it to sound like really loud and nice, you know, with a bit of saturation that Lander gives us. So that's what I do. If you don't want to master it after, just raise the volume of your drums, put it on the master track, and that's it, bro. You got a banger. And that leads me to the next tip, number 6. If you want your 808 to hit hard in the beat, you need to put a high pass on the instruments, which is right here. I'm putting mine at like around 100 hertz, but you can test it out. You don't want the low frequencies from the instruments to clash with your 808. It's gonna get muddy, so I just take it out, you know, and sounds great. You can hear those hi-hats just distorting, creating some saturation, and that's what hip-hop music is all about. Trap music, you know, it's based on this, you know, it sounds harder. All right, this is my last tip, and this is very underrated because you don't think about doing this, but checking the tempo right before you export a beat, honestly, it saved me mad times. So you see right now it's at 153, and I used to never do this, you know, so probably a lot of my beats were very slow. But you want to just put it up and see where it sounds good. 172 sounds way better. So if I go back to whatever 150, it just doesn't make sense now. And honestly, most of the time, because we kind of tend to compose and make melodies slower, because, you know, there's more time and we can just do it better, the beat is gonna sound better if it's if the tempo is raised a bit. That's it, guys. 7 quick tips to make better beats. I'm just gonna put another video right here. If you want to learn some more, click on it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.